So you want to feed your sourdough. This is my first cup of coffee. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this is Phil. And he's my sourdough. And we call him Somebody Feed Phil. And I fed him last night, but I'm going to feed him again and show you how to do that. Because he's fallen a little bit, because that's what happens is they rise and fall if you keep them at room temperature. So, to feed Phil, you need sourdough. Ampersand plus high. Another clean glass jar, or porcelain or ceramic. You do not want to use metal or plastic, because lactic acid can eat that or change the chemical compound of it. That's kind of loose science there, but just go with it. So the other things I have are a metric cup holder, a measuring cup. Again, first cup of coffee. My cat is eating plants behind me. A spoon, a funnel, and a knife. I like the funnel because then you don't get goopy stuff all up the side of your jar, which is really difficult to clean. Okay, so I've got the 3 things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 part sourdough, 1 part lukewarm water, and 1 part flour. And it doesn't especially matter what you use can use whatever you have, but it does change the flavor because the yeast will develop and eat that and create its own kind of fermentation thing, which is its whole own other thing. And I'm not here to get into a fight on the internet. I'm just here to explain what I'm doing to people who I'm giving sourdough to. And what I've learned. And I don't use a food scale because I don't have one, and because we are currently going through a pandemic where it is difficult to acquire such things. So if any of you are being judgmental or who are watching this like that, shush. So I'm going to do equal parts water and sourdough, and I start it this way so that the yeast in here gets sort of watered down, and then it's just easier to combine with the flour. So I have water and my sourdough, and I mix it up. And if textures are important to you, my sourdough started at like a pancake sort of texture, and this is going to make it sort of like wallpaper glue. I'm going to get like the bottom, I'm going to make sure to get everything well incorporated. And we're going for like a muffin-like consistency. And because I don't use a food scale, because I don't have one, I overfeed it so that there's no chance of it dying, or at least less of a chance of it dying, as opposed to underfeeding it, which will slowly kill it. Okay, so this is water mixed with sourdough starter, and then I'm going to add flour. My neighbors are being so loud. And I have been doing about 100 grams. Not that that matters. You should not be, well, I mean, you can follow my directions for that, but because I'm not doing it by weight, when you add the flour, I would tamp it down, make sure that it's flat, make sure that you don't have air bubbles, so that you're more likely to get a more accurate read on. And like I said, it's better to over than underfeed. Okay, so you can see he's bubbly, so that means that it's feeding, it's active, it's getting happy. But this is what I would call like pancakes consistency. It's not very thick. And that's fine, honestly. Like, you could leave it here, but I like to overfeed mine. And if you watch the venison for dinner video that I'll put in the link below, she goes for like muffin consistency, which I have found really helpful in getting like a better rise and having just a healthier looking, smelling, acting sourdough. So I just add in more. It's hard to do with one hand, until it reaches about muffin consistency. So it almost looks like a really gloppy, unformed bread dough. So here he's the right consistency. And then you cover him loosely. And if you want to bake bread tomorrow, you would leave him out overnight so that he could rise, and then you could use the yeasty sourdough mix. Or you can toss this in the fridge for a week and feed it next week. And if you're ready to make bread then you can feed it again. And you want to always bring it up to room temperature before you feed it. And then, feed it overnight again, do this whole process, and then bake bread tomorrow morning. So this is always something you do like the night before you bake bread. The last thing I do is I tie this actual little piece of embroidery thread around it, and that I keep right around where the line is of the sourdough, and that's actually to tell how high it's risen. I know, really, really scientific there. And the last part is what you may not have noticed, but this is not the jar that I originally used. It's Clausen. They're good jars for making sourdough because they're like 22 ounces, which I find it's a little small, but it's all right. But what do we do with Phil, the original, the OG? So this would be discard. So if I wasn't making this jar to give away to a friend, this would be what I keep. And so what do you do with the discard sourdough, the excess yeast? And this has fallen down, and so this will no longer rise. Again, according to my research, may not be correct. So what do we do with that? And the answer is a lot of stuff. So you can make crackers, you can make brownies, you can make pancakes. There's a lot of recipes. If you actually Google just like discard recipes, there's a lot of things that you can do. I think I might actually turn mine into pancakes today. Pancakes with little apples in them. Just kidding. I'm actually going to feed him because I need him for my own yeasty cultures, since the other one's going to a friend. This concludes my highly scientific way to feed your starter and continue carrying on the line. And like I said, once you feed it, you can put it in the fridge for a week. I don't really recommend doing more than 1 week. I did 2 weeks for my first starter and I almost killed it. It did not like me. So 1 week, feed it. Use your discard. Give it away to friends. Feed the discard and then give it away to friends. Because then you can keep like a jar of discard in the back of your fridge and like occasionally feed that. And that can be like a backup in case you ever destroy your yeast culture, and like if it gets mold, and you'll know if it's bad. So yeah, feel free to don't comment on this video. I'm probably going to disable comments because there's a lot of people who fight on the internet about sourdough starters, and I'm not interested in participating in that conversation. So I'm going to disable comments on this video, and this is a non-scientific, probably not a baker's way of doing this. I don't care. This is how we are surviving, and this is how I am doing it. The rest of you have a great day. Bye.